A new Quebec law seen as a government attempt to finally end ongoing student protests has renewed fury among Canadians this week. The bill forbids any large protest, peaceful or otherwise, without prior police approval. But far from stopping demonstrations, clashes are intensifying, with thousands more joining in to demand that the act be repealed. RT's Gayane Chichakyan reports from Montreal.
It's hard to gauge exactly how many people there are on the streets of Montreal, but those are thousands of people. Those are people banging on their pots and pans, expressing anger over what they see as draconian measures undertaken by the government to suppress people's rights to freedom of assembly and freedom of expression. The government of Quebec has adopted a new law just last week which makes it illegal to assemble without authorities' permission and requires a precise roadmap of any march or demonstration plan. The youth of Quebec came up with this response to that requirement, and as you can see, that is the map of Montreal. Such offensive response is also provoked by the police action against the protesters last week, a day after the law was passed. They rounded up and arrested over 700 people in just one day. It was, by all accounts that we've heard, a very peaceful protest, but it was huge. According to various reports, the number of people marching on the streets of Montreal reached 250,000 at some point. Even many of those who didn't care about tuition hikes and complained about traffic, even they joined the ranks of protesters. You see people from all age groups out there, 40-year-olds, older people, all kinds of people. Almost everyone who witnessed these massive protests say the Canadian media are downplaying widespread incidents of police brutality because they say the media are controlled by the government and by those who support the government. You could see how the movement has evolved over the last 3 months or so. It actually, in February when it started, those were just the students of Quebec versus the government of Quebec, and those were generally very peaceful gatherings. But the police feedback has been overwhelmingly oppressive, and if that wasn't enough, the government passed this anti-protest law, which instead of putting out the protest, actually fanned the flames of the movement, making it so much bigger than just a student uprising.